We'll continue with the 12th standard economics, chapter 9, physical economics. So in that next topic is revenue, public revenue. So here public revenue in the sense it is an important revenue in the study of a public finance. Any government they have a several function to do welfare for its citizen, welfare for its people. To do that welfare, the government has needed some amount. To spend on that welfare activity, the government needed some amount. So that amount is collected from the public. That is called as a public revenue. That public revenue can be increases or decreases depend upon the expenditure, how the public expenditure is. It is a very big expenditure means the revenue will be raised. If it's less means revenue will be less. So accordingly they collect it. So this public revenue can be categorized by Dalton economics. It can two sense. That means wide and narrow. The public income can be categorized into two sense. That is wide and narrow. Wide in the sense all the income and receipt of a public authority. And narrow in the sense income of a public authority. So to be concluded, it is a public receipt. Then it has been said or it called as a public revenue. So in the to be in the broad sense, we can say narrow sense means the income of a government. The source is what the government is getting as a income. That we can say as a narrow sense. In the broad sense, what it is there means the government which raised the loan. The government is raising the loan means that can be said it as a broad sense. So this public revenue can be classified into two, tax and non-tax revenue. Tax revenue in the sense means the citizens has to pay to the government. It is a legally it is imposed by the government to its citizens. So it can be defined by the Arnold, Murad and the Dalton. It is a compulsory payment made by its citizen to its government. It is a legally it has to pay. If they are not paying means it is a offense if they are not paying in the sense. So there should be some characteristics for this tax. That means how the tax can be, the character or a future it should be there means first one, the tax is a compulsory payment made to the government. So if they are not paying means it is a punishable offense. Second one is either means there should be no argument while paying the tax by the taxpayer and the public authority. That's why there is no quid and pro quo. And the third one is it is a tax, some sacrifice you have to make to pay the tax. The taxpayer has to do something, some sacrifices he has to do, then only has to pay the tax. Next, fourth one means tax is it's not a penalty or a fine or a breaking law. It is levied on the citizens of its country. The citizen has to pay to his government. That is what's a tax. Some of the tax revenue sources are income tax. Income tax is each person, individual having their salary or the income per month or yearly. According to that, they have to pay the tax to the government. Corporation tax and the municipal, for in our locality, what are the municipal authorities there? For them, we are paying the tax, the corporate tax, we can say. Sales tax in the sense, whenever we are buying the product, means including to that product price we are adding the tax and giving. So that can be as a sales tax. Next, charges means additional charge we are giving. For example, we are using the credit card means if we swipe the card means 1,000 rupees it is we are purchasing extra charges they are taking. No, that can be treated as a surcharge. For example, postage stamp we can say. And also in the airline ticket, they will add a fuel charge. No? That also can be said as a surcharge. Next is the cess. Cess means if they are raising any fund means to that one is a fund for any purposes. That means the Corona relief fund, the PM's fund they are raising. No, that can be as a cess. Next, we'll go for the non-tax revenue. Non-tax revenue in the sense the tax which is collecting not in the form of a tax. That is what a non-tax. First one we go for the fees. Fees means it will be it's a source of a tax of the public authority. It is charged by the public authority. The service what the public authority rendering to its citizens. That means, for example, we can say better like a passport. Issuing passport or driving license, we have to pay. No, that can be treated as a fees. Next is a fine. Fine in the means if you are disobeying, breaking laws, if you are doing means that time you have to pay the penalty means that can be as a fine. Example, traffic rules, if you are disobeying means you have to pay the fine. No, that can be treated. The next one is a earning from public enterprises means you have a government enterprises, government sectors it is there. If they earning up extra profit, surplus profit they are having mean that profit can be used for the public expenditure. They can be utilized for the public expenditure. Next is the special assessment betterment levy. That means some community, for them they are imposing the tax. For example, if you are having a land in the outer city, you think that if you want to raise the rate for that your land means what you have to do, in near to your land there should be a park should be there should be a road should be there, some other facility should be, then only your land rate will increase. So to do that one, the government has to spend the money. So, and because why this means because your land rate will be increases, for you it is benefited. So for that you have to pay to the government. So that is called as a special assessment betterment levy. Next is a gifts, grant and aids. Gift, grant and the aids in the sense the state government or central government, they have to pay to the government authority. That means to carry out their function of a government, they have to pay some grants to that functioning of that government local authority. Means that is called as a gift and grant aids. That means a central government to state, we can say the central government is imposing anything grant to its state government to functioning to have a working of that public authority or public any welfare is for the people. No, that can be treated as a grant. Next one is a for next example, if it's from the foreign, if you are getting a aid, development, military aid, food aid or technology aid you are getting, that also can be gift or aid, can be treated. Next is a escheats, we can say. That means if any person having so much of property, he don't have any legal hire, that means his own legal authority to have that property, nobody is there, nobody is a relative or his sons or daughters or relative is not there to take care of his property, legal hire won't be there. So that property, everything will go to the government only. So this is what about the public revenue.